Cellophane. Mr. Cellophane should have been my name. People walk right by me. They see right through me. Cellophane should have been my name. Now, when I think of where my life has started and I think of where my life has been, I think of all the things that could have been. Ooh, look at that, it rhymes. But I want to start you with the fact that if you were to sit down, and you were to sit down in a room full of inspirers, those with money, those that you know can take you to places that you want to go. And you sit down in this room, and in this room, you're there, and everything is going great. And an introduction. Our lives would have been like if somebody would have just paid attention. If somebody would have looked at you and said, "You're next." What if we go back to a time when it was fun and we go back into college and you walk into a room, you're 19 years old, and you're the stud. I'm walking into a bar, by the way. Alcohol has changed. You don't have to be 21 when I was a kid. And you walk into that room and you stand there and you're leaning against the wall on this shelf, being cool, trying to pick up girls, right? And you lean against the wall, and the next thing you know, you hear this jingle jangle behind you, you put your arms straight out. And 2 Coors Lights run one down one arm and one down the other, and you hit the floor. Boom, simultaneously. This is not possible. You cannot plan this. It's like trying to plan a hole-in-one. It just doesn't work. And the next thing you know, you're friends with those people. But the interesting part about the whole story is you have friends with these people, and they're all girls, and they all turn around and they all have boyfriends. And when they have those boyfriends, what's their first question? Who's this guy? Just Brian. How does that make you feel? Or let's take you back even further. Let's take you into elementary school. And while you're in elementary school, you're the one who never gets picked first. Is anybody in here ever not been picked first? Okay. And when you get up to the kickball team, because it was kickball time on the playground, that big red ball, you kick it and it goes 40 feet and goes over the fence and over everybody's head and all those other kind of things. And you want to be competitive and you want to be on a team, and you're the last one picked. How does that make you feel? So what I want to do is I want to take you from that experience that you've got right now. Can you feel it in your heart? Can you feel it in your soul? And I want to take you back to the fact of how do you overcome that? When you turn around and you see a situation like that, you can do one of 2 things. You can bury your head in the sand and say, "I'm not worthy." Or you can say, "Screw that. I'm kicking butt here. I'm taking names, and they will see me for who I am." So you do that, and you look at it, and you came to the next step, and the next thing you know, you're doing it again, and then you're doing it again. But you have to keep driving, you have to keep going. If you want to be successful in this life, if you want to be successful in what you do, and you want to make amends of what you've always done, you've got to drive through that, and you cannot bury your head in the sand. And the really cool thing about when I talk about that kickball experience, I always ended up on a girls' team. But in elementary school, it didn't matter. But today, I look back at it and I was like, that's a really cool story. I always ended up last pick. I always ended up on the girls' team. Yes. And those girls that I talked about in the pool room or the hall, the bar, and I knocked the beers down, guess what? One of them actually was in my wedding. They drove me to be successful. They were friends. They're the ones who helped me get to the next level. All of these things happen. And I can't give you the last story because it hasn't come to fruition yet. Because that story I was telling you about happened yesterday. So how do we overcome it? We look, we smile, and we say, the hell with you. I'm going where I want to go, and I'm going to be who I want to be, and I am going to do what I want to do. Would you agree?
Yes.
So whatever you do, when you think about success, and you think about where you came from, and those trials and those tribulations that you had, think about how can I overcome them? How can I put a smile on my face? How can I get past this? And to hell with everything else. Mr. Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name.